Hello everyone. In our intermediate second year syllabus, the first chapter we have is waves chapter, and in this wave chapter we'll get a long question. As we are all familiar with our model paper and weightage, we'll get 8 marks questions from 3 chapters, and among them this is the first chapter, chapter 1, which is waves, and from this chapter we'll get one long question. I will deal completely regarding to the long question and question to the answers. Of course, I will give you the basic terminology and basic concepts, and of course already have listened in the previous classes, and now I will completely focus on the IPE pattern, intermediate public examination pattern of the long questions from wave chapters. Okay, now we just go for the introduction to waves, then after we'll go to the actual concept of long questions. Okay, so here actually what does a wave represents means, so a wave represents transport of energy. So wave represents transport of energy and the pattern of disturbance, and the pattern of disturbance has information of its propagation from one point to another point. So here how can we define waves means, waves represents transport of energy and the pattern of disturbance has information of its propagation from one point to another point. Now we'll coming to the simple definition of wave motion, right? What is this wave motion means? It is a phenomena of propagation of disturbance. Propagation of disturbance. Suppose in a plain water, means when water is at rest in a bucket full of water or a pond, if we throw a stone in water, then we'll observe that a flow of water will take place like this. Okay, this kind of a situation we'll observe in the water. So that propagation of disturbance from one place to another place without the transportation of matter is known as wave motion. Clear? The phenomena of propagation of disturbance from one point to another point or one place to another place without the transport of matter is known as wave motion. Okay, now these wave motions are of two types: mechanical waves or non-mechanical waves, and again mechanical waves are nothing but which require material medium for propagation of is called mechanical waves, and non-mechanical waves nothing but which doesn't require any material medium are called non-mechanical waves. And again mechanical waves are of two types: progressive waves and stationary waves. Like this there is a classification of waves in different categories. Okay, now we'll just go for some parameters of a progressive wave. Now just now I told you regarding the types of waves. What are that? Mechanical waves and non-mechanical waves. And again these mechanical waves are classified into progressive and stationary waves. So waves are of two types: mechanical and non-mechanical waves. Mechanical means they require medium for its propagation, and non-mechanical means they doesn't require any medium. So these are the two kinds of waves: mechanical and non-mechanical waves. And again these mechanical waves are classified into progressive and stationary waves. So mechanical waves are again classified into progressive waves and stationary waves. Okay, progressive wave and stationary waves. Okay, now we'll go with the parameters of a progressive wave motion. Means what are the parameters? Means when a wave is propagating, okay, wave is propagating, wave motion means nothing but what, when it is moving from one point to another point, will have some parameters in the sense that in order to explain that particular wave motion we need to have some parameters. Suppose a wave moving from one place to another place like this, then we need to explain this particular wave motion, then it requires some parameters. What are those parameters? Now we'll see. First one is parameters of progressive wave motion is amplitude. What it is? Amplitude. Okay, denoted by capital A. Now in this figure we observe that a wave is moving up and down like this, up and down. Now this is what we call a wave motion, nothing but progressive wave motion. Now how we'll define this amplitude is the maximum displacement of any particle on the wave from its mean position in either directions is called its amplitude. Suppose that this is the particle which is it is its original position. Now this is moving up and this is a maximum displacement in the sense that it is the initial point, it is the final point. The distance between initial and final point is called displacement. Okay, now this is a maximum displacement of this particle in the upward direction. Now again it is coming to the original axis. Now again it is going downside. Now this is a maximum displacement in the downward direction. So what amplitude refers to? Amplitude is nothing but the maximum displacement of any particle on the wave from its mean position upside and downward side. This is the what this arrows indicates, the amplitude, which is called maximum displacement from its mean position. This is called amplitude, denoted by A, capital A. Okay, now SI unit of this amplitude is meter. So we will measure this amplitude in meters. Okay, now this one, from here the wave is getting started and here we have a systematic motion of a wave like this. Okay, now in this wave, this part means upside part is called crust. Okay, it is called crust, and this part is called trough. Okay, again this part is called crust and this part is called trough. Crust, trough. So alternatively in a wave always crust and trough, occurs in a regular intervals of time. Okay, now this is the crust and this is the trough. So one, I am drawing the same diagram here. Again this is the crust and this is the trough. So one crust and one trough together nothing but is called a wave length. Okay, wave length. This is called wave length, which is nothing but one crust plus one trough is nothing but a wavelength, which is denoted by a letter lambda. So which is the what second parameter, which is called wavelength, nothing but lambda, which is also measured in meters. Okay, SI unit is meter. Okay, denoted by lambda. Now we'll come across a term like phase. Okay, it is also a property of the wave, which is also a physical quantity which is used to determine the position, and direction of particle, at any particular instant of time. Okay, phase nothing but it is a physical quantity which determine or which is used to determine the position and direction of a particle at any particular instant of time, which is called phase, and which is measured in a unit called radian. So SI unit is radian. Now we'll go for a wavelength. Okay, wavelength again. This is the, suppose this is the wave traveling in one particular direction. Now this is called, already we have seen, this is called crust, this is called trough, this is again crust, this is trough, crust, trough, like that. Okay, now the distance between two successive particles which are in the same phase of vibration, is called wavelength. Okay, these two particles, these are the two successive particles which are in the same phase of vibration, and this is called wavelength. From here to here and here to here or here to here, we are all these 2 points, whenever, means two successive particles which are in the same phase of vibration is called its wavelength. Now if we take an example, these 2 points which are having the same phase, then the distance between this point and the successive point is nothing but the wavelength. This is the wavelength denoted by lambda, which is also measured in unit called meter. Now this is a wave, this represents a wave. From here, starting from this point, it is moving like this, one crust and one trough. This is called a complete wave. We call this as a complete wave from here to here. Now the time taken by the particle to complete one wave is called time period. What is it? Time period, denoted by capital T. So the time taken by the particle to complete one wave is called time period, which is measured in called seconds. So time is measured in second. Okay, now we have another parameter, last parameter, nothing but frequency. Okay, frequency nothing but the number of waves produced in 1 second is called its frequency. Number of waves produced in 1 second is called frequency, and this frequency can also written as reciprocal of time period, means 1 by time period, nothing but its frequency. So time period is defined as what? The time taken by the particle to complete one wave is called time period, which is measured in seconds. And frequency nothing but number of waves produced in 1 second is called its frequency, which is denoted by n, and this frequency is nothing but the reciprocal of time period 1 by t, and the units of frequency is hertz. Units of frequency is hertz, or we can write from this equation, we can write 1 by second, or not, or we call it as hertz, which is the name of the scientist. Now after knowing the parameters of wave motion, Now we'll go to an important concept, which is principle of superposition of waves. Principle of superposition of waves. Okay, now we have seen that this is a propagation of the waves, propagation of the wave which is propagating in a particular direction like this. Okay, now when two or more waves at the same time, when the two or more waves are simultaneously impressed on a particle of the medium, then the resultant displacement of the particular particle is equal to the algebraic sum of the displacement of all the waves, is called superposition of waves. I just gave you an example. Suppose if a wave is traveling in one direction like this, say this is a wave number 1 and its displacement is say y1. Now if another wave is also traveling in the same direction like this, okay, now the displacement of this wave is say y2, and there is another wave, third wave, which is also traveling in the same medium in this direction, and the displacement of the third wave is say y3, and then the superposition of waves, means principle of superposition of waves, says that if these three are traveling in the same direction, then they superimpose with each other. What is that? They superimpose with each other, and the resultant displacement will be the sum of these three individual displacement. Suppose if we take this is the resultant wave of superimposition of these three waves, then the resultant displacement of the newly formed wave is say y, then which is always equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3. Hope you understood. మనకి ఇక్కడ మూడు వేవ్స్ ఉన్నాయి ట్రావెలింగ్ ఇన్ ద మీడియం. y1 ఫస్ట్ వేవ్ యొక్క డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్, y2 సెకండ్ వేవ్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్, y3 థర్డ్ వేవ్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ అని అయినప్పుడు ఈ మూడు కూడా సూపర్ ఇంపోజ్ అయితే అప్పుడు వచ్చిన కొత్త వేవ్ ఇది. ఈ కొత్త వేవ్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ y అని అయినట్లయితే ఈ yకి ఈక్వేషన్ ఏంటి, లేదా y వాల్యూ దేనికి సమానం అని అంటే ఈ ఇండివిజువల్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఏవైతే యాడ్ చేస్తామో దానికి సమానము. ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ చూస్తే అర్థమవుతుంది కదా మీకు. ఇది y, దీని డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్. ఈ y దేనికి సమానం, ఈ మూడింటి యొక్క ఇండివిజువల్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ని యాడ్ చేసి ఎంత అయితే వస్తుందో దానికి సమానం. సో y ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు y1 ప్లస్ y2 ప్లస్ y3 అని అర్థం. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు డెఫినేషన్ చదువుతాను చూడండి. when two or more waves are simultaneously superimposed on a particle of the medium, the resultant displacement of that particle is equal to the algebraic sum of the displacements of all the waves. Clear? Now if y1, y2, y3 etc. are the displacements due to overlapping of the waves, then the resultant displacement is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3. That is what the concept of principle of superposition of waves. Okay, now we'll go to the next topic, like reflection of waves. Reflection of waves. Reflection in the sense, this is a term which we have in our light chapter. Okay, reflection of light. We are familiar with the reflection of light. When light falls on a medium or a surface, it bounces back into the same medium. It is called reflection of light. Okay, in the same way, when a wave is traveling in one direction, okay, when a wave is traveling in one direction, if the medium ends at any particular point, then at that particular point this wave gets reflected. This wave gets reflected in the same, means in the opposite direction in the same medium. That is called reflection of wave. Very simple definition. When wave is traveling in one way, if the medium gets end or completed, or else if any disturbance occurs, means any obstacle occurs, then at that particular point the wave again gets reflected back into the opposite direction. It is called reflection of a wave. Now based on this reflection of waves concept, we may define our stationary wave. Till now we have seen a progressive wave and its parameter. Now this is a stationary wave, and here in our concept, this stationary waves plays an important role in studying long answer questions. Okay, now this is the stationary wave. Suppose that here is an example. I am considering a wave traveling in a particular direction in a medium. Now this is a wave. As far as our concept of reflection of waves is concerned, now this wave, when traveling in one direction at a particular moment, if the obstacle occurs, then it gets reflected and travels in the backward direction. This is the situation where the reflection of light waves is taking place, and this concept is called this wave is called stationary waves. Okay, what happened here actually? These are the two sound waves are having same frequency, same amplitude and wavelength, are traveling in opposite direction, superimposed with each other to produce a stationary wave. Now one wave is traveling in one direction, other sound wave is traveling in other direction. Then these two waves which are having same frequency, okay, same frequency, amplitude and wavelength, are traveling in the opposite direction and superimpose with each other and produce a stationary or standing waves. Okay, this is the stationary wave or standing wave. Clear? Now in this wave, stationary wave, if we apply the parameters like our amplitude, wavelength, okay, frequency. Now in order to apply parameters, now I am drawing the same diagram, okay, the magnified manner. Now this is the first part of the wave. Okay, now this is the first part. Now this is what we have already seen. This is the crust, this is the trough. Okay, now this is what we called amplitude. We are familiar with the amplitude. Okay, now these are the zero amplitude points, means low amplitude or zero amplitude points, and this is a maximum amplitude points. Now if we observe, these are the maximum amplitude points towards upside and downside on both the waves. Okay, and these are the maximum amplitude points in this particular wave. Now this maximum amplitude points are called as antinodes. Okay, antinode. This one also antinode. And this particular zero amplitude points are called node. Okay, this is a node. Okay, node points nothing but zero amplitude points, and antinode points nothing but maximum amplitude points. Okay, now if you observe, we are going step by step into the concept of our long questions only. Now you need to understand all these basics in order to know the long question. Okay, now This is a wave. I am drawing in a detailed manner. Zero amplitude points are called node points, and this maximum amplitude points are called antinode points. Okay, now we need to find this length. What is this length? Called wavelength. We have already seen the distance between the two particles which are in the same phase is called wavelength. Now this is a wavelength denoted by lambda. Okay, now if I suppose that, if I ask you that the distance between this point and this point, then what can you say? Or the distance between these 2 points, how can you say? Or the distance between node and antinode, antinode and node, node and antinode, and antinode and node. So finding of this particular distance is very important here. Now this is a complete wave, okay, and the complete wavelength is lambda. Okay, observe it clearly. And in this complete wave, how many nodes are there? 3 nodes are there. How many antinodes are there? 2 antinodes are there. Okay, 3 node points, 2 antinode points in a complete wave, and that complete wave has a wavelength of lambda. Now I am asking you that we need to know node and antinode distance, means the distance between node and successive antinode, or the distance between node and its successive node. Successive in the sense that పక్కకే ఉన్నటువంటి నోడ్, ఈ నోడ్ ఉంది, దీని ఈ నోడ్ పాయింట్ పక్కనే ఉన్నటువంటి ఇంకొక నోడ్ పాయింట్కి మధ్య ఉన్న డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత, లేదా ఈ నోడ్కి దీని పక్కనే ఉన్నటువంటి యాంటీ నోడ్కి మధ్య డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత అని మనం ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు వెరీ సింపుల్. ఓకే, ఇది మొత్తం ల్యాండా అయినప్పుడు ఇది సగం అన్నప్పుడు ఎంత అవుతుంది? నేను ఇక్కడ వేస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి డయాగ్రామ్ వేస్తాను. ఇది ఒక్కటి వస్తే మీకు 3 లాంగ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ వచ్చేస్తాయి, అయిపోయినట్టే ఇంకా. ఇప్పుడు ఇది మొత్తం ఎంత అన్నాం? ల్యాండా అన్నాం. ఓకే, డోంట్ గెట్ ఎనీ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ హియర్. ఇది ల్యాండా అన్నాం. మళ్ళీ ఇదేంటి? నోడ్. ఇది ఒక నోడ్, ఇది ఒక నోడ్. ఎన్ ఎన్ ఎన్. ఇప్పుడు అన్నీ రాయకుండా ఓన్లీ నోడ్ గురించి ఆలోచిద్దాం. ఈ నోడు దీని పక్కనే ఉన్న ఇంకొక నోడు, మధ్యలో నోడ్ ఉన్నదా? లేదు, ఓన్లీ నోడ్ పాయింట్, ఇది నెక్స్ట్ నోడ్ పాయింట్. ఇది మొత్తం ల్యాండా అయినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి ఎంత అవుతుంది? సగం అవుతుంది, ల్యాండా బై 2 అవుతుంది. వెరీ సింపుల్. ల్యాండా బై 2 బిట్వీన్ నోడ్ అండ్ నోడ్. అగైన్ నోడ్కి మళ్ళీ ల్యాండా బై 2. దట్స్ ఆల్. వెరీ సింపుల్. సో we can conclude that in a wave the distance between 2 successive node points is lambda by 2. A simple conclusion. ఒక వేవ్లో 2 పక్కనే ఉన్న నోడ్ మధ్యలో డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత అంటే ల్యాండా బై 2. ఇక్కడైనా ల్యాండా బై 2, ఇక్కడైనా ల్యాండా బై 2, ఇంకొకటి తీసుకుంటే కూడా ల్యాండా బై 2, ఇంకొకటి తీసుకుంటే కూడా ల్యాండా బై 2, ఇట్లా అన్ని ల్యాండా బై 2లు నోడ్కి మధ్యలో. ఓకే, నా ఇప్పుడు మధ్యలో ఇది ఒకటి ఉంది కదా, యాంటీ నోడ్. ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని యాంటీ నోడ్ అని రాసినది. ఈ నోడ్కి ఈ యాంటీ నోడ్కి డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత, లేదా ఈ యాంటీ నోడ్కి ఈ నోడ్కి డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంతనో కావాలి ఇప్పుడు మనకు. ఇది ఎలా ఉంది? మళ్ళీ ఈ ల్యాండాలో ఇది సగం అంటే ల్యాండా బై 2 అయింది. మళ్ళీ ఈ ల్యాండా బై 2లో ఇది సగం అంటే ఎంత అవుతుంది? రూపాయలు ఆటాలో మళ్ళీ రూపాయి అంటే చారానా. ఇది ఏమవుతుంది? ల్యాండా బై 4 అవుతుంది. హోప్ యు ఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్. దిస్ ఈజ్ కంప్లీట్లీ వేవ్ లెంత్ ల్యాండా. మళ్ళీ నోడ్కి డిస్టెన్స్ ల్యాండా బై 2, ఈ నోడ్కి డిస్టెన్స్ ల్యాండా బై 2. ఇప్పుడు ఈ నోడ్కి దాని పక్కనే ఉన్న యాంటీ నోడ్కి మధ్య డిస్టెన్స్ ల్యాండా బై 4. మళ్ళీ ఇది కూడా ల్యాండా బై 4 అవుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ మళ్ళీ ఈ నోడు ఇక్కడ వచ్చే యాంటీ నోడ్కి ల్యాండా బై 4, మళ్ళీ యాంటీ నోడ్కి మధ్యలో ల్యాండా బై 4. ఇట్లా వాటి పక్కనే ఉన్న ఒక నోడ్కి దాని పక్కనే ఉన్న యాంటీ నోడ్కి మధ్యలో మాత్రం ల్యాండా బై 4. ఇప్పుడు ఒక సింపుల్ కన్క్లూజన్, నోడ్ టు నోడ్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత వస్తుంది మనకి? నోడ్ టు నోడ్ ల్యాండా బై 2. నోడ్కి యాంటీ నోడ్కి మధ్య డిస్టెన్స్ lambda by 4. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు 2 లాంబ్డా బై 4లు కలిస్తే ఒక లాంబ్డా బై 2, 2 లాంబ్డా బై 2లు కలిస్తే ఒక లాంబ్డా. ఇట్లా ఎన్ని లాజిక్గా మనం చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో మొత్తం లాంబ్డా, దాంట్లో హాఫ్ అయింది లాంబ్డా బై 2, లాంబ్డా బై 2, మళ్ళీ దీంట్లో 4 క్వార్టర్స్ అయినాయి, లాంబ్డా బై 4, లాంబ్డా బై 4, లాంబ్డా బై 4, లాంబ్డా బై 4. ఇట్లా మనం ఒక కన్క్లూజన్కి వచ్చినాం. ఓకే, నోడ్ అండ్ యాంటీ నోడ్ పాయింట్స్, ఐ థింక్ యు ఆర్ అండర్స్టూడ్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు నోడ్ యాంటీ నోడ్ పాయింట్స్ తెలిసిన తర్వాత ఒకసారి ఇదే నోడ్ యాంటీ నోడ్ పాయింట్స్ని ఒకసారి ఈక్వేషన్ ఫామ్లో చూద్దాం. అంటే నోడ్ పాయింట్స్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తాయి ఒక వేవ్లో, యాంటీ నోడ్ పాయింట్స్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తాయి అని ఒక్కసారి స్టడీ చేస్తే మనం నెక్స్ట్ లాంగ్ క్వశ్చన్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు, ఈ బేసిక్స్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని. సపోజ్ అసలు స్టేషనరీ వేవ్స్ అంటేనే ఏమన్నాం? స్టేషనరీ వేవ్ అంటే వెన్ ఏ వేవ్ ట్రావెలింగ్ ఇన్ వన్ డైరెక్షన్, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ గెట్స్ or if it get any obstacle in its medium, then it gets back in the opposite direction అని అన్నాం. Okay, this is the stationary wave formation. Now in this we got node points, antinode points, these are all antinode points, and zero amplitude points which are called node points అని అన్నాం. So when these node points occurs, when these antinode points occurs, now we'll see in the form of equation. Okay, we'll prove. Now this is the first wave which is traveling in one direction. Say its displacement is y1 and which is denoted by yn is equal to a sin of kx minus omega t. Now a wave again getting back in the opposite direction, again y2, which is equal to a sin of kx plus omega t. Now here omega nothing but 2 pi n, where n is the frequency and k is the 2 pi by lambda, where k is the 2 pi by lambda. Now if these two are superimposing with each other, we already say that the resultant displacement will be the sum of individual displacements, that is y is equal to y1 plus y2. Now then we'll substitute these y1 and y2 values in this equation. What we'll get? A sin of kx minus omega t plus a sin of kx plus omega t. Now if we simplify this, we'll get, according to mathematics, 2a sin of kx cos omega t. Okay, now this is a 2a sin kx cos omega t, or else we can write this as 2a sin kx is equal to a, means which is a resultant wave amplitude. Okay, and then we can replace this 2a sin kx in this place, 2a sin kx as a. Now y is equal to a, means in place of 2a sin kx we are writing this small a, so a cos omega t. Okay, now actually this one 2a sin kx, now we'll consider this equation. A is equal to 2a sin kx. Okay, k nothing but what we have seen, 2 pi by lambda, so 2a k nothing but 2 pi by lambda into x. Now this is the resultant amplitude. Now our node and antinode points nothing but what? If amplitude is 0, we call it as node points, and if amplitude is maximum, we call it as antinode points. Okay, for that a value, what is the value of a, we need to determine here. Now if suppose that in the place of x, which is a variable, okay, which is the position determining by a x, so when x is 0, okay, in the equation x is 0, what happens? Now we'll see. A is equal to, okay, 2a sin 2 pi by lambda into 0. Okay, so anything multiplied by 0 is nothing but what? 0. So a is equal to 0. So we got this amplitude as 0. Now we have already seen when amplitude is 0, always will get node points. Okay. Now so A is equal to 0, we got node point. Now if say suppose x is equal to lambda by 2, in the place of x we need to substitute what? Lambda by 2. Now suppose small a is equal to 2a sine of 2 pi by lambda. Now this in place of x will write lambda by 2. Clear? x ప్లేస్ లో ఏం సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినాం, ఒకసారి 0 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినాం, 0 అయిపోయింది మొత్తం. ఇప్పుడు x ప్లేస్లో ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, లాంబ్డా బై 2 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఇది సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినాం. ఇప్పుడు లాంబ్డా బై 2 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే ఈ లాంబ్డా క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతుంది, 2 క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతుంది, మిగిలింది ఏంటి 2a సైన్ పై అంటే 180 degrees. సో 2a సైన్ పై మిగులుతుంది. ఓకే, now again this sin pi nothing but what, sin 180 which is equal to 0. now again 0 into 2a nothing but 0. సో మళ్ళీ a 0 వచ్చింది. సో x is equal to 0 ఉన్నప్పుడు a వాల్యూ 0, x is equal to lambda by 2 ఉన్నప్పుడు a వాల్యూ 0. అలాగే x is equal to 2 lambda by 2 తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. again now if you see a is equal to 2a sin 2 pi by lambda into 2 lambda by 2. ఓకే, 2 lambda by 2 తీసుకుంటే మళ్ళీ lambda క్యాన్సల్. ఓకే, 2 క్యాన్సల్. ఓకే, మిగిలింది ఏంటి 2 pi నథింగ్ బట్ 360. సో అగైన్ 2a sin of 2 pi which is also equal to sin 360 is nothing but what, 0. so 0. so a is equal to 0. okay, therefore what we can conclude, for values of x 0, lambda by 2, 2 lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 4 lambda by 2, so on, the amplitude become 0. therefore node points are formed, means nodes are formed అని కన్క్లూజన్ చేసినాం ఇప్పుడు మనం. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు x ప్లేస్లో మళ్ళీ ఇందాక ఏమి చేసినాం, 2a sin kx, 2a sin 2 pi by lambda into x ఈక్వేషన్ తీసుకున్నాం కదా. అదే ఈక్వేషన్లో ఇప్పుడు 2a is equal to 2a sin kx ఈక్వేషన్ మళ్ళీసారి రాస్తున్నాను. 2a sin k అంటే 2 pi by lambda into x. ఇప్పుడు when x is equal to lambda by 4 తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, lambda by 4 తీసుకుంటే a వాల్యూ ఎంత అవుతుంది, 2a sin of 2 pi by lambda. x ప్లేస్లో ఈ lambda by 4ను సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేయాలంతే, lambda by 4, lambda క్యాన్సల్, 2 2s are 4. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది, ఇది 2a sin పై మిగిలింది మనకి ఇక్కడ 2 to the 4 కాబట్టి 2 మిగిలింది. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు a is equal to 2a sin pi by 2. sin pi by 2 అంటే ఎంత, sin 90 degrees. సో sin 90 ఎంత, 1, 2a into 1 that nothing but 2a. సో a is equal to 2a వచ్చింది, మనకు 0 రాలేదు. సో a is equal to 2a వచ్చింది కాబట్టి ఇది మ్యాక్సిమం ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్ పాయింట్, మ్యాక్సిమం ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్ పాయింట్ which is called what, యాంటీ నోడ్. ఇట్లా మళ్ళీ మనం వేసుకుంటే ఇవి నోడ్ పాయింట్స్, 0 పాయింట్స్, ఇది యాంటీ నోడ్ పాయింట్స్. ఓకే, సో మనకు ఎక్కడెక్కడ వచ్చినాయి నోడ్స్, 0 lambda by 2, ఇక్కడ వేస్తాను చూడండి డయాగ్రామ్. ఇట్లా వేవ్ ఉంది కదా, ఇట్లా వేవ్ వచ్చింది, ఇక్కడ x వాల్యూ 0 దగ్గర a వాల్యూ 0 మీన్స్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ 0 అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ ఇలా వస్తే దీన్ని ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ అన్నాం, ఇది నోడు ఇది నోడు, lambda by 2 అన్నాం. సో lambda by 2 పాయింట్ దగ్గర మళ్ళీ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ 0, మళ్ళీ ఈ lambda by 2కి ఇంకొక lambda by 2 కలిసి ఎంత అవుతుంది, lambda అవుతుంది. సో 2 lambda by 2 అంటే 2 క్యాన్సిల్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ మిగిలే lambda. సో మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ నోడు, మళ్ళీ lambdaకి ఇంకొక lambda by 2 కలిపితే 3 lambda by 2, ఇక్కడ ఒక నోడ్. సో ఇట్లా ఈ పాయింట్స్ అన్నిటి దగ్గర కూడా నోడ్ అనే వచ్చింది మనకి ఈక్వేషన్ పరంగా. నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ కూడా చూస్తే ఇక్కడ కూడా చూస్తే a ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 2a. ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది? a ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు a λ/4 దగ్గర మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూ వచ్చింది. ఇది λ/4 అన్నాం ఇంతకుముందు మనం. ఇది ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి లాంబ్డా, ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి లాంబ్డా, నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి λ/2, ఇది λ/4. ఓకే, సో λ/4 పాయింట్ దగ్గర మ్యాక్సిమం ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్. ఓకే, దెన్ అగైన్ ఓకే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తారా ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది మళ్ళీ మ్యాక్సిమం ఆంప్లిట్యూడ్ పాయింట్? కెన్ యూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ద నెక్స్ట్ maximum amplitude point? According to the diagram also we can say this one is the maximum amplitude point. Okay, now λ/4. okay, x is equal to λ/4, 3 λ/4, 5 λ/4, etc. will get antinode points or antinodes are formed. Antinodes are formed when x is equal to λ/4, 3 λ/4 and 5 λ/4. Okay, now in this video we have learned regarding the wave motion, types of waves, and different parameters of the wave, principle of superposition of wave, reflection of wave, stationary wave, node points and antinode points. If you are well with this node points and antinode points and calculation of this wavelength, then it is very easy to understand 3 long questions what we have in this chapter. Okay, in the next session or in the next video we'll go with our long questions. Okay, thank you.